In November 28, 2019, the country woke up to shocking news following the gruesome murder of Agnes Siombua and her two children, Shanice Maua and Prince Michael. The three had been missing for weeks, but nobody had anticipated that their bodies would be discovered lifeless. Many failed to understand what the innocent children had done to deserve their lives being cut short at such a young age. Agnes Siombua and her two children had been missing for more than 3 weeks, prompting investigative agencies to swing into action. The family of Agnes had been praying that she would be found alive, even as they suspected that her husband had something to do with the disappearance. True to that, it is after the husband, Major Peter Mugure, was arrested that there seemed to be a breakthrough in the investigation. News quickly turned from bad to worse when the three bodies of Joyce Siombua, Shanice Maua, and Prince Michael were recovered and the family was thrown into mourning. The bodies were found at Makaburini in the Ngithu area of Nanyuki. The husband, Major Peter Mugure, was the key suspect in the murder of his wife and two children. The two had been involved in a dispute. Siombua mother Elizabeth Maua revealed that 1 week before Siombua traveled to Nanyuki, where she was murdered, she had won a court case in Nairobi regarding child maintenance. Agnes had sought the court's intervention for the upkeep of her children because the husband was not fulfilling his duties, arguing that the children were not his, and a paternity test that was conducted revealed that Mugure was indeed their father. He was compelled by the court to provide for them, and this was based on those developments that the husband is believed to have had a motive to murder Agnes and her two children. Major Mugure was not comfortable taking care of the kids, as that would have been a very huge financial burden, which he had to pay 75,000 shillings per month as child support. Remember that Major Mugure had not accepted Shanice and Prince Michael as his children, and therefore it did not sit in well with him that he would have to commit his hard-earned money to them. He also had speculated that Agnes was probably seeing another man and therefore felt like he was being blackmailed and used. It is clear that Mugure was not happy with the court ruling, but in a twist of events, he reached out to his wife with a request to see the children. Mugure went to the extent of sending their transport fare, and it should have alerted Siombua on why her husband had quickly changed his heart regarding the children and seeing her. However, there is no way she could have objected since the court had ruled that Mugure be granted regular access to the children. Little did she know that the husband had other ill intentions. This was only a trap to lure them to their death. It is suspected that Mugure drugged the three before strangling them. First, he left with the children, Shanice and Michael, from the camp before coming back for the wife far much later. Agnes Siombua's family is said to have been in constant communication with her family. Her mother's conscience still not clear, and she felt like Major Mugure had ill intentions. Agnes at first assured her mother that they had arrived in Nanyuki safely and that they were actually taking breakfast together, and later on Major Mugure requested to show the kids around the military camp. She began being suspicious after he stayed for a long time without returning home with the kids. Siombua's mother had warned her daughter against going to Nanyuki, citing that he did not trust Major Mugure's motives. Agnes Siombua did not have an option other than taking her children to Nanyuki, where they were unaware of the impending danger. The court had dictated that Mugure was to spend time with the children too, so she had to obey. After harming the children, Prince Michael and Shanice, Major Mugure came for her wife, Agnes Siombua. Their bodies were found later, stuffed in gunny bags, and then buried in a shallow grave in a cemetery that was initially under the defunct Nanyuki Municipal Council. Detectives investigating the murder hugely relied on several sources to crack the murder. One of the sources was a taxi driver who was approached by the soldier to identify a location where the bodies would be dumped. The officers who were also manning the gate of the camp were also questioned because the civilians entering the camp had to leave their national identity cards at the gate and pick them when they leave. The protocol was, however, not followed on the fateful day when Shanice, Siombua and Michael died. Siombua's phone was found in a 4 NTE matatu that had departed from Nakuru to Nanyuki, and investigations have been conducted into that. Colleagues of Major Peter Mugure claimed that the soldier might have been suffering from depression and mental health issues because he had crashed a plane. Major Mugure had been stationed at the Laikipia Air Base, where he had shown signs of being depressed, and one of his colleagues revealed that he had seen and suspected that Major Mugure was standing in the rain for hours while continually looking at his watch, a sign that Major Mugure was going through depression. Mugure crashed an aeroplane where he was at Trainee Airport, and as a result, he was grounded. This is when his personal and mental problems began. Mugure had been working at the Laikipia Air Base for 1 year after he had been transferred from the Moi Air Base in Nairobi. It is also alleged that Peter Mugure might have abandoned his children because he had another wife. It emerged that the soldier is in another relationship with an Air Force officer. This brings another dimension to the case, as the other wife could have been treated as a potential accomplice in the murder of Siombua, Shanice, and Prince Michael. It seemed that the murder was very well planned and orchestrated, and it was clear that Major Mugure had a motive. He wanted to be free from paying child support. He also wanted to be free from infidelity claims and the burden of having 2 wives. Joyce Siombua died from injuries on her head and brain inflicted by a blunt object, while her 2 children were strangled to death using a rope on postmortem conducted on their bodies. Chief Government Pathologist Johansen Odwar spoke in Nanyuki mortuary after 5 hours of conducting the postmortem that was witnessed by detectives and the prime suspect, Major Peter Mugure. Mr. Odwar added that they cannot, however, tell the exact time that the murder took place, as all the bodies were or had already started decomposing. He further stated that they are also unable to confirm nor deny fears of a possible poisoning before the killings, but that they had taken samples for testing. The family of Major Peter Mugure, led by his mother Hannah Mugure, acknowledged that Agnes Siombua was the legitimate wife to Major Mugure and mentioned that the 2 were madly in love with each other. As a matter of fact, they grew up in Kayole together, and everyone was aware that they were romantically involved with each other since they were young, and this made them not understand when the rain started beating the 2 of them. They also described Major Mugure as a very silent and composed person, a man who could not even hurt a fly. He was also an A student who had studied civil engineering at the University of Nairobi. They insisted that for them, their son was not capable of killing his family members. It is, however, noteworthy that Agnes and Major Mugure had an on and off relationship ever since their firstborn Shanice was born. Agnes is said to have broken up with Major Mugure when she was 8 months pregnant, but later reconciled and continued living as man and wife. They later had irreconcilable differences that had them go to court before their untimely deaths. Agnes Siombua was 31 years, Shanice Maua was 10 years and Prince Michael was 5 years. Major Mugure and his co-accused Collins Pamba were arrested on 15th November and 16th November 2019 respectively. Mugure was arrested after a taxi driver recorded a statement at Nanyuki police station revealing that the soldier had asked him to get 3 gunny bags which would help him ferry some luggage, which he declined. The luggage turned out to be 3 people who were Siombua, Shanice Maua, and Prince Michael. Mugure is currently held at Kingongo Maximum Prison in Nyeri awaiting conclusion of the murder case. Agnes Siombua, Shanice Maua, and Prince Michael were laid to rest in an emotional burial ceremony in Kitui County. May their souls rest in peace, and we hope that the perpetrators will be brought to book and that they will finally get justice. I have been your host, Lily's Rams. Thank you for watching. See you on the next video.